And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Of course, the boys are back in action again this weekend as we take on Livingston at home, which is definitely a must-win game for us. Try and get out to winning ways in the league. A poor result on the weekend, obviously against Hearts. But in today's video, we're not going to discuss the build-up to that game just yet. That'll come in the next few days. We want to discuss some transfer news, as we've been linked to a goalkeeper, of course, as you can tell by the title. And there's a player that's currently at Celtic that could leave this January, or it looks more than likely that he will leave this January as well. So there's a lot to go through in today's video. So let's start with the first story, which is about left-back Alexandru Bernat. So obviously a year and a half ago we signed Bernat from his hometown, a team called Lanús, for £3.7 million. And to say the least, it has not really worked out for him. Of course, he was an Ange Postecoglou signing, and it's not really worked out for him in the last 18 months. So, according to the Scottish Sun, there is now interest in his services from Italy and Argentina. Of course, he is 24 years old, still relatively young, and still early on in his career. But as you mentioned, signed for £3.7 million from Lanús, and since then he's made just 23 appearances in green and white. So not a great return for the money that we paid for him. When he has played under Brendan Rodgers, he's looked a lot worse than he did under Ange Postecoglou. He looks very raw, and Brendan Rodgers doesn't clearly fancy him too much. He's only played 71 minutes of football this season. Of course, he played a little cameo in the game against Hearts on the weekend, which we lost. I think the belief behind him coming on was that he would add some more whip to the game. That didn't seem to work out in that match, and it kind of just emphasised that he's not up to the quality of Celtic, to be completely honest with you. Of course, and we fell to our first defeat against Hearts at home since like 2009, so it was a very poor weekend in all accounts. The fact that obviously Rodgers doesn't fancy him speaks for itself, but there's still interest in his services from Italy and Argentina, as you mentioned, and he does possess an Italian passport as well, so he can make a pretty swift move to Italy if needed, which is also cool to see. So I think it's a win-win for Celtic, obviously, or win-win for him and Celtic. He gets more playing time, and we get a Deadwood player off our books. Let's be completely honest, £3.7 million will not be recuperated. It'll be a massive loss in terms of the transfer fee we will receive for him. But as Rodgers spoke out, of course, a few weeks ago, that there's a lot of players in his team that he wants to get off the books. It's quite a big squad, and they're not all of quality of Celtic Football Club. And I think he definitely fits into that category of being a Deadwood player, Bernat. It's a shame that it's not really worked out for him. Of course, I've been pretty open about our left-back position, how I don't think that both players in that position are up to the quality of Celtic, of course, that being Greg Taylor and Bernat. But Bernat has not even been able to push Greg Taylor's position at all in the last 18 months. And, of course, it kind of highlights the sad indictment that is Celtic's recruitment in the last few years, our poor recruitment in the last few years when it comes to signing certain players. Of course, we do wish Bernat the best when he does eventually move on, but it's pretty much 80% likely that he will leave the club in January, and expect a pretty cut cost fee for him. I think it will be around probably £500,000 at most. It's a shame, but it is what it is, and we wish him the best going forward, of course, Alexandru Bernat. So we are also linked to a few players come January as well. We know the few positions that we need to really add depth into, one being a goalkeeper. And as you can tell by the title, we have set our sights on an impressive goalkeeper come January as well. So Kilmarnock keeper Will Dennis has caught the attention of Celtic as the Hoops look to bring in reinforcements between the sticks. Of course, Benjamin Sigurðs has recently switched agents, and he's suggesting that he's looking for a move away from the club. And of course, our first choice goalkeeper Joe Hart's contract is set to expire in just over 6 months as well. So reinforcements in that position is a must. Come January and come the summer as well, of course, when Joe Hart's contract has come to an end, and there's no real talks if that would be extended right now. Of course, the 23-year-old goalkeeper Dennis, he's on loan at the SPFL Cup with his contract set to expire with Bournemouth come the end of the season. So make that a little bit more clearer, he's on loan from Bournemouth at Kilmarnock, and his contract at Bournemouth is set to expire this summer as well. So there's obviously the appeal that we could sign Dennis on a free contract, a free transfer come the end of the season, come the summer. Of course, this will be a transfer that will most likely happen in the summer, not in January. He's been pretty impressive so far for Kilmarnock this season, and of course that's not gone unnoticed with both Celtic and Rangers scouting teams keeping a close eye on his progress. His potential availability on a free transfer, as mentioned, is in the summer adds to his appeal as well. Of course, I don't think he's at the quality to replace Joe Hart, but he'll be a decent backup, of course, if Sigres does leave the club, as he mentioned in January. And as we do enter the January transfer window, there will be plenty of names linked to Celtic as well, as you can imagine, especially in between the sticks as well. We mentioned a few weeks ago about a player called Andriy Lunin from Real Madrid, the Ukrainian goalkeeper. That transfer, to be completely honest, seems completely off the table right now. If you don't know, Andriy Lunin was Real Madrid's third choice goalkeeper. He's like 24 years old, a Ukrainian international, and he was linked to Celtic. But since then, Thibaut Courtois has obviously had a massive injury this season. He's out till the end of the season, I think. And their backup keeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga, who was playing in place for Courtois, was also injured. So Lunin got some game time for Real Madrid, and he did really, really well. So since they've both been injured, he's done very well for Real Madrid, been a consistent stay in the team. A consistent player in the team, sorry. And Kepa Arrizabalaga is since back from injury, and he still kept him out of the team. Lunin is still in the team right now for Real Madrid. So he's done very well and made a mark on the team since both keepers have been injured. So that transfer is completely off the table right now. So we now are setting our sights elsewhere in terms of goalkeeping options. Will Dennis is a good backup choice. Don't think he's up to the quality to replace Joe Hart completely, but definitely a good backup for Sigres if he is set to leave the club for game time. So let me know what you make of that down in the comment section below. I'd be keen to know if you think Will Dennis could be a good choice as a backup for Celtic come the summer. Let us know. And if there's any positions that you think we need to improve in January, let us know down in the comment section below. For me, it's another centre-back, a left-back, and a goalkeeper. But I think the goalkeeper can wait. The first-choice goalkeeper can wait until the end of the summer, until the end of the season. But a left-back and a centre-back is a must for me right now. Obviously, you mentioned Lagerbilt could be leaving the club in January as well. Bernat is leaving in January as well. So definitely need some more choices in those positions, and Nat Phillips, of course, is leaving. His loan deal's expiring at Celtic as well. So yeah, let us know what you make of this transfer news down in the comment section below. What keeper would you want us to sign come the summer? What left back do you think we should sign to replace Bernat or replace Greg Taylor? I don't think he's good enough either. And what centre back should we sign as well? A lot of moving parts of Celtic right now, but let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.